तो Amazon क्या करता है? Amazon actually gives you a choice of 8 different relational database systems, right? तो जितने भी databases थे हमारे पास जो हम यूज़ करते थे रेगुलरली, उनको Amazon ने क्या किया? RDS में कैटेगराइज करवा दिया है। RDS में आपके पास 8 टाइप के डेटाबेसेस जो Amazon सपोर्ट करता है इन मैनेज सर्विसेज। तो सबसे पहला जो है वो है आपका फर्स्ट है MySQL, second is MS SQL, third is MariaDB, then you have PostgreSQL, then we have Aurora, then you have Aurora, then you have IBM DB, and then you have after IBM DB, you have Aurora for Aurora, sorry, Postgre with Postgre with MySQL compatibility. There are 8 type of, right? So MariaDB is that, Postgre is that. See. So इनमें से आप किसी भी database को choose करेंगे, you'll go and choose any one of these databases, right? So I'll go to this. I'll go to RDS, Relational Database System. Go to RDS. After going to RDS, so you can see that this is the database instance, right? So once I will click on the database instance, I'll click on create database. Once I click on create database, you can see we have option of 8 different databases. Aurora with MySQL compatibility, Aurora with PostgreSQL compatibility. ये दोनों अलग रहते हैं. MySQL, MariaDB, Postgre, Oracle, Microsoft SQL, IBM DB2, right? इसमें से जो भी डेटाबेस आप सेलेक्ट करना चाहें वो आपको मैनेज सर्विसेज के रूप में मिल जाएगा. So I'll click on MySQL. You click on MySQL. Then you will click on show versions that support multi-AZDB cluster. तो आप multi-AZDB cluster बनाते हैं. So create a multi-AZDB cluster with one primary database instance and 2 readable standby DB instance. Multi-AZDB clusters provides up to 2x faster transactions, commit legacy, and automatic failover, and typically under 35 seconds, right? Second is show versions that support the Amazon RDS optimized writes. Amazon RDS optimized writes means so ऊपर वाले में तो आपको जब भी आप प्रोडक्शन के लिए जाएंगे तो आपको ये यूज़ करना है. सेकंड में व्हाट यू आर गोइंग टू डू इज Amazon RDS. तो होता क्या है कि इनिशियली जब आप डेटाबेस बनाते हैं तो सारी राइट क्वेरीज आती हैं. आफ्टर सम टाइम व्हाट विल हैपन इज दीज राइट क्वेरीज विल बी कन्वर्टेड इनटू रीड क्वेरीज, यानी राइट क्वेरीज कम हो जाती हैं और रीड बढ़ जाता है. तो जब आपका रीड बढ़ जाता है तो उस केस में यू आर गोइंग टू अनेबल 2x रीड एट नो एडिशनल कॉस्ट, राइट? तो ये आप अनेबल कर सकते हैं व्हेन यू नीड इट. अब यहाँ पर देखिए आपसे पूछ रहा है कि आप इसको प्रोडक्शन के लिए बनाना चाहते हैं, डेव टेस्ट के लिए बनाना चाहते हैं, फ्री टियर के लिए बनाना चाहते हैं. तो अगर आप फ्री टियर में बनाएंगे तो फ्री टियर में आपको ऑप्शंस जो हैं नहीं मिलेंगे सारे के सारे देखने के लिए. डेव टेस्ट में जबकि आपको ऑप्शंस जो हैं वो मिल जाएंगे, राइट? एंड देन द प्रोडक्शन में भी आपको सारे ऑप्शंस जो हैं वो मिलेंगे, बट आपको ज़्यादा स्पेस और बड़े इंस्टेंसेस लेने होंगे. तो वी वुड लाइक टू शो यू ऑल द ऑप्शंस. तो हमने यहाँ पे लिया डेव एंड टेस्ट. देन यू कैन सी single DB instance, right? Single DB instance you're going to create. And single DB instance बना सकते हैं, multi-AZDB instance बना सकते हैं, multi-AZDB cluster बना सकते हैं आप, right? Depending upon what your requirement is. इस सब के साथ costing बढ़ती जाएगी. तो multi-AZDB cluster create a primary DB and a secondary DB at different availability zones. जैसे आप इंस्टेंसेस की हाई अवेलेबिलिटी के लिए डिफरेंट डिफरेंट अवेलेबिलिटी जोन सेलेक्ट कर लेते हैं डिप्लॉयमेंट के लिए। ऐसे ही डेटाबेस के केस में भी आप मल्टीपल अवेलेबिलिटी जोन सेलेक्ट कर सकते हैं जो कि हाई अवेलेबिलिटी देगा और डेटा रिडंडेंसी भी देगा। बट द स्टैंड बाय डीबी इंस्टेंस डज नॉट सपोर्ट कनेक्शंस फॉर read workloads. Third is multi-AZ DB cluster. So multi-AZ DB cluster means create a DB cluster with a primary DB instance and two readable standby instances. तो आपको readable instances चाहिए तो आप ये कर सकते हैं। Next is DB instance identifiers. तो DB instance identifier क्या है? यहाँ पे आपको सबसे पहले देना है डेटाबेस का नाम। You have to mention the name of the database, unique name of the database with the current VPC. आपको डेटाबेस का मास्टर यूज़र नेम चाहिए और आप अपना जो पासवर्ड है उसको AWS की एक सर्विस है AWS सीक्रेट मैनेजर, उसके अंदर भी आप सेव करके रख सकते हैं। और यू कैन गो विद सेल्फ मैनेज्ड। तो सेल्फ मैनेज में जाएंगे तो आपको अपना पासवर्ड जनरेट करना पड़ेगा, राइट। So you go ahead. Sorry. So इसके बाद आप चूज करेंगे आपके डिफरेंट डिफरेंट क्लासेस। यू आर गोइंग टू सेलेक्ट डिफरेंट डिफरेंट क्लासेस, राइट, ऑफ इंस्टेंस डिप्लॉयमेंट। यानी आप अपने जो इंस्टेंस का डिप्लॉयमेंट है वो कहाँ करना चाहते हैं, वेयर यू एक्चुअली वांट टू डिप्लॉय योर इंस्टेंस, राइट। तो आप यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं सबसे पहला है स्टैंडर्ड क्लास, फर्स्ट इज नोन एज स्टैंडर्ड क्लास। तो ये आपके इंस्टेंस की क्लासेस हैं, दीज आर द क्लासेस ऑफ द इंस्टेंसेस। सेकंड इज मेमोरी ऑप्टिमाइज क्लासेस, जहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं। और फिर है बर्स्टेबल क्लास। बर्स्टेबल मीन सबसे छोटे वाले इंस्टेंसेस आपको यहाँ पे मिलेंगे। अगर मैं यहाँ पे कर देता हूँ इंक्लूड प्रीवियस जनरेशन तो आपको T2 माइक्रो वगैरह भी मिल सकते हैं। थिंक दैट दे आर अवेलेबल राइट नाउ। शो इंस्टेंसेस, ओके, चलिए ये ले लेते हैं 2 CPU 1 GB रैम। स्टोरेज टाइप कौन सी लेंगे, यहाँ पे देखिए स्टोरेज आप ले सकते हैं। अच्छा, हमने शायद प्रोडक्शन सेलेक्ट किया हुआ है, 200 GB दिखा रहा है, नहीं डेव टेस्ट है। तो प्रोडक्शन में मिनिमम जो स्पेस आपको देगा दैट इज गोइंग टू बी 200 GB, राइट। आप इसकी जगह 20 GB लेंगे, देन यू कैन से GP2, राइट।
हेलो।
हाँ जी, तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं। हाँ जी, बोलिए, बताइए।
अरे, वो आवाज बंद हो गई थी ना।
अभी आ रही है सही?
अभी आ रही है सही? हाँ जी।
हाँ जी, right। तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं कि वी हैव ए फीचर ऑफ ऑटो स्केलिंग ऑल्सो। वी हैव फीचर ऑफ ऑटो स्केलिंग ऑल्सो। तो व्हाट फीचर ऑफ ऑटो स्केलिंग सेज इज, फीचर ऑफ ऑटो स्केलिंग जो है ये आपका जो फीचर है वो फ्री है। मतलब you need not to pay for this, right? Just enabling the feature, right? So you have to pay only and only when you will use this capacity. आप पे करेंगे सिर्फ और सिर्फ जब आप इस कैपेसिटी को यूज करेंगे, राइट। तो यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं मैंने यहाँ पे 1 TB तक का स्पेस दे दिया। अनेबल स्टोरेज ऑटो स्केलिंग कर दी। जब भी मेरा 20 GB स्पेस बढ़ जाएगा तो ऑटो स्केल होता रहेगा एंड इट विल बी स्केल्ड अप टू 1 TB। यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं कंप्यूट रिसोर्सेस, डू नॉट कनेक्ट टू एन AC2 कंप्यूट रिसोर्स, कनेक्ट टू एन AC2 रिसोर्स, राइट। तो अगर आप अभी डायरेक्टली इसको AC2 रिसोर्स से कनेक्ट करना चाहते हैं तो अभी कर सकते हैं, बट हम बाद में कनेक्ट करेंगे, AC2 इंस्टेंस अभी बनाएंगे हम। अब यहाँ पे देखिए आपसे कह रहा है डेटाबेस को क्या आप पब्लिकली एक्सेसिबल कराना चाहते हैं। तो हम डेटाबेस को पब्लिकली एक्सेसिबल नहीं कराना चाहते। वी डू नॉट वांट एनी पब्लिक एक्सेस फॉर द डेटाबेस। ऐसा क्यों? क्योंकि डेटाबेसेस को हम हमेशा रखते हैं प्राइवेट सबनेट में, वी डू नॉट वांट डायरेक्ट एक्सेस। तो पब्लिक एक्सेस आप सिर्फ और सिर्फ एक ही केस में देंगे, व्हेन यू नीड टू माइग्रेट द डेटाबेस फ्रॉम वन लोकेशन टू अनदर लोकेशन, otherwise no, right? Then you can see availability zones. So availability zones are having their preferences. Then you have additional configuration. तो यहाँ पर देख सकते हैं आप, इट वर्क्स ऑन पोर्ट नंबर 3306। पासवर्ड ऑथेंटिकेशन करा रहे हैं हम। आई एम डेटाबेस ऑथेंटिकेशन आई एम यूज़र से कराना चाहें आई एम यूज़र से करा सकते हैं। मॉनिटरिंग, अगर आप मॉनिटरिंग अनेबल करना चाहें अलग अलग टाइप की, तो वो कर सकते हैं। एडिशनल कॉन्फ़िगरेशन में आप क्या कर सकते हैं, अब हम क्या बना रहे हैं, डेटाबेस इंजन बना रहे हैं। तो यहाँ पे अगर आप कोई डेटाबेस अगर बनाना चाहें तो IntelliDB नाम से एक डमी डेटाबेस आप बना सकते हैं। देन यू कैन सी DB पैरामीटर ग्रुप, राइट। देन यू कैन सी बैकअप्स, अनेबल ऑटोमेटेड बैकअप्स। तो आप ऑटोमेटेड बैकअप्स जो हैं उनको अनेबल कर सकते हैं यहाँ पे, अगर आप चाहें तो। तो आप यहाँ पे मेंशन कर सकते हैं दैट बैकअप रिटेंशन पीरियड शुड बी एवरी 7 डेज। तो जब भी आप बैकअप रिटेंशन अनेबल करेंगे तो आपको यहाँ पे मेंटेनेंस विंडो भी सेलेक्ट करनी होगी कि भाई मेरा बैकअप जो है वो कब होगा, व्हेन आई एम गोइंग टू टेक दिस बैकअप। लेट्स सपोज आई एम मेंशनिंग दैट बैकअप विल बी डन एट 10 o'clock and when it is going to run for 4 hours, let's suppose. Right? Then you can see we have few more conditions. Encryption, you can encrypt your database. By default it will be encrypted, right? Enable replication into another AWS region। तो आप डेटाबेस का साइमल्टेनियस रेप्लिकेशन दूसरे उस पर भी सेलेक्ट कर सकते हैं। यू कैन सेलेक्ट द रेप्लिकेशन इनटू अनदर रीजन टू। उसका जो रेप्लिकेशन है दूसरे रीजन में भी आप कर सकते हैं। Then you can see we have an option of maintenance window. So what this option of maintenance window says is, option of maintenance window कहता है कि आपके पास एक टाइम फ्रेम है। लेट्स सपोज यू हैव अ विंडो कि कब आपके जो ऑटो माइनर वर्जन अपग्रेड्स हैं, तो आपके डेटाबेस में कुछ चेंजेस होते रहेंगे, अपग्रेड्स होते रहेंगे। तो डेटाबेस में जो चेंजेस और अपग्रेड होते रहेंगे, हम क्या चाहते हैं, हम उनको अनेबल करना चाहते हैं। अनेबल ऑटो माइनर वर्जन अपग्रेड्स, राइट। तो इस अगर हम चाहते हैं कि ऑटोमेटिकली हो जाए तो इसके लिए हमें विंडो चूज करनी होगी। एंड वी हैव टू ऑल्सो मेक श्योर दैट बोथ ऑफ दीज विंडोज विल नॉट कोलाइड विद ईच अदर। वो टाइम फ्रेम नहीं ले सकता है जो कि दूसरी विंडो का है, राइट। यस, संडे को शाम में 6 बजे, और मान लीजिए ले लिया 1 घंटा। तो हम मेंटेनेंस विंडो हमेशा नॉन पीक आवर्स में सेलेक्ट करते हैं। इसका मतलब ये नहीं है कि उस केस में डाउन टाइम होगा, बट हाँ ऐसा हो सकता है कि परफॉर्मेंस डाउन हो सकती है। तो वी ऑलवेज प्रेफर टेकिंग इट इन नॉन पीक आवर्स। देन यू कैन सी अनेबल डिलीशन प्रोटेक्शन। तो आप अपने EC2 इंस्टेंस पे भी डिलीशन प्रोटेक्शन लगा सकते हो। आप अपने डेटाबेस पे भी डिलीशन प्रोटेक्शन जो है लगा रहे हैं। और यहाँ पे मैंने अपना डेटाबेस जो है वो इंस्टॉल कर लिया। कह रहा है द मास्टर पासवर्ड स्ट्रेंथ इज स्ट्रॉन्ग बट पासवर्ड इज इनवैलिड, राइट। तो और इसकी पॉलिसी है दैट इट इज नॉट गोइंग टू टेक दीज पासवर्ड्स लाइक दिस। आई थिंक आई यूज्ड @ symbol। click on create database and then click on close। The database will be ready in few minutes. In the meanwhile, let's go and launch a EC2 instance because we will be connecting it to the EC2 instance only. So let's go and launch EC2 instance 2. So यहाँ पे आप देख सकते हैं हमारे पास एक instance है. I think it is terminated. Yes, you need to launch any other instance. हमने server 1, let's suppose. Amazon Linux का हमने ये लिया. And you can see the keypad. We have to go and choose 19 make keypad. Immediate working. And just click on launch instance. अब यहाँ पे इंस्टॉल करूँगा आपको ये लॉन्च कर दिया. All instances. You can see instances ready, and on the other side, what we have is we have it. Backing up. We're almost ready. So you can see database successfully created. It is backing up now. So you'll go to the database and you will see the database got a unique name, and that is known as endpoint. Database got a unique name, and that is endpoint. You click on this. You take this public IP address. You take its remote. Enter. You should search application credentials. Browse. And then it is going to be 19th. Except say to user or the name of the user. Sudo su dash. So what we did here is we have taken the remote of the instance. So client side package you need to install. Yum install MySQL -y. We'll be installing it. Package which is MySQL. Right. We will install a package which is MySQL. Then you will go to the database. You will take this database endpoint name. You get database now enter karna. So there is a command. Now my EC2 instance will be able to understand the command to access the database. So I'm running my SQL space -h. H means hostname. I've copied the hostname. Hostname is here. Minus capital P port number. Port number is 3306 minus U. Username is admin, right? Right. So we'll press enter. Oh, MySQL minus H. I'll make it here for you. MySQL minus H. H means hostname minus capital P. Protocol is TCP minus U. Username is admin. Okay. Username, I think we have mentioned admin only. Oh, so maybe हमने तो यूजर ने पासवर्ड ही दिया था. चेंज तो नहीं किया. So let's go and see that in the default security group, port number 3306 is enabled or not. So we'll go to the security group. Database का security group है. Default security group. So आपका default security group है. Inbound. Added inbound rule. तो आप देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे MySQL Aurora is allowed. और जो हमने EC2 इंस्टेंस लॉन्च किया उसमें MySQL Aurora हमें अनेबल करना होगा. Go to EC2. Go to the instance. So what we are going to do here is we're going to the concept groups. So हमने यहाँ पे MySQL enable कर दिया है already. Now this command should work. Oh, access is denied. Password. Okay, correct. Minus user and minus small p for the password. Now password, and the password we have given is, so we have entered into the MySQL server, और यहाँ पे जाके आप देखेंगे show databases, right? They can see these are all the databases we have, right? So if you want to enter into any of the databases, then the command is use MySQL, right? So you have entered into a database, which is MySQL. After entering into the database, what you will do is you can see tables, show tables. So you can see these are all the tables. And then you can do select star from, let's suppose there's a table called time zone. So you can say time zone. These are all the tables which are there in the time zone. And then you can do all these things. It is just to check that although this is not your job, this is the job of a database administrator. But you can, if you want to check, you can check all this, right? You can exit like this, right? So once you will go, and if you want to delete the database, so there are so many things which you need to take care of. First thing is if you need to modify. Let's suppose you want to modify any of the database parameters. So in that particular case, you are going to get two options. The first option is that it will ask you that you want to reflect these changes during the maintenance period, or you want to do them immediately, right? So in this particular case, if you will see, we can do it using the maintenance period or maybe immediately. So we'll do it immediately, it will be done now. Otherwise, so you can do actions, stop temporarily. If you are migrating or doing something, remove, delete, set up EC2 connection. You can directly set up EC2 connection, create read replicas. So I told you that initially, once you will create a database, you'll be having more traffic of write, but after some time, your read traffic will increase. So many times this question will be asked in an interview that, like, let's suppose your read traffic is increasing. So what you will do? And the increasing read traffic is actually creating problem. Increasing the read traffic is creating problem, or maybe creating latency for the customers. So in that case, what you can do is you can create read replicas. So in case of read traffic will be redirected to the read replicas, and your existing database will keep on working. So if you want to delete it, let's suppose you want to delete it, it will ask you that do you want to create a final snapshot? No, we do not want to create a final snapshot. Retain automated backups. We do not want to retain automated backups. Acknowledge that upon instant deletion, automated backups, including system snapshots and point-in-time recovery, will no longer be available, right? Then you can go and mention like delete. And then आपने आप acknowledge कर दिया that आपके पास कोई automated backup या नहीं रहेगा, right? Then you can delete it. So that was about RDS, Relational Database System. Next service we'll be starting with is, we will be starting with CloudWatch. So what is CloudWatch? It is a monitoring service in AWS. तो AWS की जो अपनी मॉनिटरिंग सर्विस है उसका नाम है CloudWatch. तो आप सभी को मालूम है कि हम बहुत सारे डिफरेंट tools यूज करते हैं for monitoring. We are actually, first thing is we are purchasing these softwares for monitoring. Some of the examples are Nagios, Zabbix. There are many actually in the market, but these are some of the popular software. So if you need to buy a subscription of a monitoring software, So that is going to cost you. With every additional feature, you need to pay additionally. Let's suppose you are setting up that it will send you a message, email, something like that. So you have to attach it to a network too, right? But in Amazon, if you will see, you need not to pay for the service. You are not going to pay anything for the service. The service is free, but you have to pay when monitored, like when monitored. And once it will store its log, you have to pay for it. Once it will send messages, you have to pay for it. When it will make changes, you have to pay for it. So based on these, it will be paid, right? Based on these, you have to pay, right? So let's create a resource. Although we already have a resource, you can see that we already have an EC2 instance. So by default, if you will see, monitoring is enabled on all the resources, and that is known as basic monitoring. इन सभी resources के ऊपर जो monitoring है, वो by default enabled होती है, and that monitoring is known as basic monitoring. So basic monitoring will always be done at a interval of every 5 minutes. और आपको मालूम है that जितना मॉनिटरिंग में डिले होगा, यानी जितने फ्रीक्वेंसी जितनी ज़्यादा होगी, उतना ही मुश्किल हो जाता है हमारे लिए किसी प्रॉब्लम को आइडेंटिफाई करना। फ्रीक्वेंसी जितनी कम होगी, अब होता है क्या, डेटाबेस में कोई प्रॉब्लम आती है तो हम क्या करते हैं, मान लीजिए मेरी 1 मिनट की फ्रीक्वेंसी है तो मैं उसको कम करके 30 सेकेंड्स कर दूंगा, फिर भी प्रॉब्लम पता नहीं चल रही तो आई विल मेक इट 10 सेकेंड्स, राइट? तो इसी तरह से हम पता लगाते हैं दैट वेयर इज द प्रॉब्लम. सो अब ये मेरे पास एक इंस्टेंस और आप देख सकते हैं इट इज गेटिंग मॉनिटर्ड ऑन ऑल दीज पैरामीटर्स. CPU utilization, network in, network out, packets in, packet out, credit usage and all that. These are some of the parameters on which it is getting monitored, right? So parameters पे क्या हो रहा है, तो monitor है हो रहा है. Now, so you can see now. So you can see that we have IP addresses. We have we will be monitoring it with the help of instance ID, right? So let's go to the service which is known as CloudWatch. Let's go to CloudWatch. So you can see in CloudWatch, we can create a dashboard, we can create alarms, we can segregate logs, we can check metrics. X-ray is for monitoring the applications, insights of applications, events you can configure, insights you can configure, application signals, network monitoring, all these type of monitoring can be done, right? But first you need to go and create a dashboard because everything will be monitored on top of the dashboard only. So we are using a free tier account. So in your account too, you will be able to create 3 dashboards in free tier. That is the limit. If you will create 4th dashboard, it will be chargeable. So you can create up to 3 dashboards. I'll click on create dashboard. And the name of the dashboard is, let's suppose, 10th August dashboard. Then click on create dashboard. So you can see it is asking you that how you want to see it. You want to see it in line, numbers, data table, gauge, stacked areas, bar, explorer, pie charts, how you want to monitor it. You can even. So let's suppose I would like to monitor these metrics into numbers. So if you will see that all these metrics are fixed, like let's suppose you have a stomach pain and if you will go to the doctor, so doctor knows that these could be the 10 things which can happen at this particular situation. So it'll give you medicine according to that, right? So likewise, if you will talk about EC2 instances, there also we have fixed metrics that on these fixed 10 metrics, it will be monitored first. If then there will be a problem, we'll create another matrix or do something like that. But by default, these metrics are fixed. So I'm talking about those metrics only, and it is asking you that how you would like to monitor them. Would like to see them in lines, data table, gauge, stack bar, pie charts, explorer, and so I would like to see it into numbers because numbers are easier to understand. Now it is asking you that which service you would like to monitor. So you can see it is showing you all the services which you have used in recent few days. Obviously, the service needs to be available in the account. Only then you will be able to monitor it, right? So let's suppose I would like to monitor my EC2 instance. So I'll click on EC2 instance. It is asking about two metrics. One is auto scaling group and second is per instance matrix. And I would like to monitor per instance matrix. So I will go to my instance, take this instance ID, paste it here, and you will see that all the metrics corresponding to this instance will come up. So you can see these are all the metrics which are corresponding to this particular instance, right? All right. So what you would like to monitor, if you would like to monitor all the metrics, you can click on all. All the metrics will come on the dashboard like this. But if you want to monitor only some of them, you can mention that I would like to monitor network on, I would like to monitor network out, I would like to monitor disk write operations, CPU usage, let's suppose, and then click on create widget. So we have created a widget where all these things will get monitored automatically. You can define more actions like settings and all, right? Go and mention that how you would like to monitor it every 10 seconds, 30 seconds, 1 minute, and then click on save. So we have saved the widgets, right? So let's see what all things we can monitor. So in CloudWatch, what we can do is, first thing is we can monitor your applications. Now you can monitor your servers. And monitor databases. Yeah. Monitor applications. Can monitor network. We can also trigger alarms based on the changes in the matrix. Right. Then we can also configure events. Events means actions. We can configure actions that based on the changes in the resources, based on changes in resources, you can define some actions. So you can also configure actions based on the changes in the resources. You can define them, right? So let's start with the creating an alarm, like monitoring, you have a dashboard. There you can mention everything. Let's go to CloudWatch. So we'll go to alarms. So we would like to set up alarm based on this instance performing. So I will go to in alarm. So you can also create billing alarms. Earlier billing alarms were there into payments, but now billing alarms are also available. You can set up billing alarms that if your billing will reach a particular threshold, in that case, you will be notified, right? So click on create alarm, click on select metric. So which metric you want to select? I would like to go to EC2. Right, EC2, I will go to per instance metric. Click on the instance, copy this. And then I will mention this. So you can see we have an option of CPU utilization. We have an option of CPU utilization. So you will mention here that if your CPU usage will be more than a threshold, in that case, you should be notified. So I'll click on select metric. We have selected this metric. So you can see it is asking you that CPU utilization of this particular instance, what you would like to monitor. Average CPU utilization, yes, obviously average. For every 1 minute, I would like to check. I would like to check it over a period of 1 minute. I can even reduce it to 30 seconds, 10 seconds, but I'm going with 1 minute right now. And then you can see the actually mention the condition. So there are two options. One is static. Static means you know the exact value that after this value you want a message. And non-normally detected means you can specify a band. Let's suppose you are running an application or a service for the first time. In that case, you can think about the band. Otherwise, you can directly go with static. So you can go with static and you can mention that whenever CPU utilization is greater than, right? In anonymally detected, you will be having a band. Outside the band, greater than the band, lower than the band. So I'm going with static right now. Greater than, let's suppose I'm mentioning that if my CPU utilization of group, if the CPU utilization of this instance will increase more than 60%, the same will increase more than 60%. And then you can see that you have an option of additional configuration. So it is actually asking you the data points to alarm. Define the number of data points within the evaluation period that must be breaching the cause the alarm to go to alarm state, right? So you can mention that out of two, 1 out of 2, let's suppose I'm mentioning. So if it will check it twice, if it will find one time that it is high, right, then it will take an action. I will go with 1 out of 1 right now. So if it will check it once, and if it will find that the CPU utilization was high, so in that case, it will treat it as breaching threshold. Click on next. So in that case, it is going to put the alarm triggered and it will put it into the trigger section in alarm section. So here what I can do is I can go and create a topic. I can go and create a topic in this particular case. And the name of the topic is, let's suppose, 10th August topic. I'm creating a new topic right now. I could have taken earlier topics, but I'm creating it right now. So give me your email IDs over the chat. Let's send you a message. You'll be added to the group. Name email IDs डाल दीजिए. Rakesh, Gaurav, can you hear me? आवाज आ रही है हम दोनों के पास. Let me put my email ID so I will able to hear me. So mention my email ID. So I will click on create a topic. Topic got created. Then I can even define actions, but I will not define action right now. We'll give the name of the alarm as 10th August. Click on next. Click on create alarm. You have created an alarm. And see, one alarm is ready. Up. So obviously it is not an alarm section, it is into alarm. So you can say it is showing you insufficient data. Why? Because it is collecting data right now. So I will take the remote of this instance. I think remote is already taken, but I think session is gone. Session is still there. Wow. So we have the session. We'll run a command called top. Once we run a command called top, you will see that the CPU utilization is 0% right now. What I'm going to do is I will increase it to yes, hit then symbol, tab null percent. So what this command will do is this command will increase the CPU utilization. Once the CPU utilization will be increased, you can see the CPU utilization is right now 100%, 98%. So we have mentioned the threshold should be 60. So as soon as CloudWatch will find out that it is more than 60, it will change the state to alarm. So you can see it came to OK. Why? Because it checked in the first 1 minute that the load was less than 60. Now in the next 1 minute, it will again check, and this time it will find that it is an alarm. And then you will see that you'll be able to see it an alarm then. So let's wait for 1 minute. So you can see it is alarm. Why? Because it reached the CPU. It reached the threshold. You can see it is 99% right now. So if you'll reduce it, it will automatically come to this. For reducing it, I'll run kill 3510 and it will be killed, right? Likewise, you can create alarms. So by default, it will not cost you but this monitoring alarms and events are going to cost you. Sorry, you can delete them. So, likewise, you can delete your instance and database we have already deleted. So that was about today's lecture. You can practice all this. If you have any doubts, let's take those doubts tomorrow, right? Okay,